Don't run for me. Don't run for me. All right, so we started this character program about a year ago. Okay, and I mean honestly, this character program is more important to me personally than any game that we ever play. Okay, and for this past year, we've given a lot of kids a lot of character cards. Okay, and what we mean by that is when we see things that we consider to be above the line behavior, things that we see on this checklist here, you know, kids that are hardworking, kids that are positive, kids that are accountable. So many different things that you can do through the game of softball that doesn't really mean that you're always the best player, but it's more to do with being the best person that we can be. Okay? One of the things that I'm trying to instill, and I mean, I wish I would have learned this a long time ago, y'all, but you know, several years ago, when all this started for me, it was all about win, win, win. That's all I really cared about was winning. Okay? But after doing it for like 20 years, you start to understand that this is a lot more than just winning softball games. Okay? There's a lot of things that we're trying to instill into y'all, and those things that we're trying to instill on y'all are these character skills that are on this board. Okay? We've talked a little bit about this before, but there's basically two types. There's performance skills and there's moral skills. Our performance skills, those are the character skills that help us become a better player by being hardworking, being confident, being disciplined, being competitive. So all these over here in the red, that has more to do with the player and what the things that it takes to be great. Okay? If we're not motivated, we're not going to be great. If we're not energetic, we're not going to be great. If we're not resilient, we're not going to be great. Okay? So there's been times throughout the year that we've given character cards for some of these things that we see that are helping our teams become great. Okay? And then we have moral character skills. These are the skills that have more to do with being a good teammate, being a good sister, being a good daughter. Okay? More about the people that you are, more so than the player that you are. Okay? And we probably really focus more on our character cards from the moral part of it. Okay? Because, again, yes, we want to win. Okay? But we also want to make an impact. Okay? We want to make a difference. Okay? And a lot of you kids have done a lot of things that have been a really cool to be a part of. Okay? We've seen y'all and caught y'all doing some really above the line character stuff. Okay? So for the year, we've been handing out character cards. Okay? And I told y'all, and a lot of you are new, so you'll know a little bit more now to go towards next year. But I told everybody a year ago that all year long we were going to be passing these out. What I didn't tell everybody was that at the end of the year we were going to select somebody that we're going to give a Character of the Year award to. Okay? And that's somebody who probably got the most character cards. Well, they did get the most character cards in the last year. Okay? So there's been more times that we've seen this person displaying more of these things that we're trying to get y'all to think about. This game gives us so many opportunities, y'all, to do things that we don't have to do. Okay? And so this year's winner is in front of us. Okay? And I'd like for everybody to give a big hand to Auburn. Auburn Brown. Auburn, sit on that for me, okay? Alright, so Auburn, are you a pretty good reader? Okay. So I wrote you a little card here. Okay? And I'd like, can you see it good enough to read it? Okay, you want to read that out loud for me? I met Auburn about a year ago, I don't know, about a year ago, through our Skills and Drills program in Hot Springs. And when I met her, she couldn't catch very good, she couldn't throw very good. But what I seen was, I seen a kid that had a huge heart. I seen a kid that really wanted it really bad. And I seen a kid that really had all these performance character skills, every one of them. And so I said, so I offered her a spot. And anybody that hadn't seen the video yet, when her parents informed her that she was offered a spot on Texas Glory, you need to look at it. Maybe I'll go back and reshare it so everybody can look at it, because the excitement that this kid had the day that she found out she made Glory was one of the most special moments I've ever had, because sometimes I think I'm not there to see when kids have opportunities and when they get excited about something. But seeing that, it kind of allowed me to be able to see just an impact of making it, what being a teammate could be like, okay? But what I like about that is she's had that same excitement with about everything that she's done since then, okay? It's just been a joy to just be a part of some of the stuff. I'm gonna rattle off a couple of things, a couple of character cards that I can remember, and then I think Justin and maybe some of the other guys might be able to remember some things that I can't really remember. The first thing that really stood out was the video of her excitement. The second thing is I got a phone call from a tournament director that said, "Hey, Coach Scott, I have a question to ask you." I said, "What's that?" He said, "How come every time your 2010 team is at our ballpark, I see a kid walking around the ballpark with a trash bag picking up trash, and all her teammates are following suit. Now they're all starting to do it." And I just explained that kid was Auburn Brown, and the program was our character skills, and her teammates, jumped in there with her when she started it. And my point to that is sometimes it just takes one person to kind of start something, and then it becomes contagious, and other people start doing it as well. Okay, so I think that just Auburn, and I guess the third thing that I'll talk about at the same time is, before she leaves here every night, she walks up and down this fence line, and she makes sure that she never gets in that car if there's any trash outside that field. And it's not just her trash. It might be her trash, her trash, her trash, her trash. She doesn't care. She still goes and picks it up. She picks it up in the ballpark on the weekends. When we finish, she's always making sure that the dugout's clean. And a lot of y'all do the same thing, okay? But I've just seen her do so many things, and understand, this award is not just for these teams that are here. This is for our entire organization, okay? We've got 14 teams. We've got 140 players, and I think that she got more character cards than anybody, okay? So I think that she deserves some things that we're gonna do for her. Justin, with that said, is there anything you want to maybe come up here with Auburn and maybe talk about some things that you've seen from Auburn that you want to share?
Somebody get him a tissue.
It's hard because I tell you, Jeremy and Freddie do a little better job than I do about handing character cards out. There's been plenty of times a lot of our girls deserve more than they get. And Auburn has took many butt chewings. And I say many. And she's looked me dead in my eyes and always said, "Yes, sir." Right there at the end of it,
There's not gonna be dry.
And you can tell the love that she has for me, them, it's undeniable. I mean, when you see her at the ballpark, the smile that she has is so contagious, and it doesn't matter if I just yelled at her, she went crying, and got over it, and come back out. She's always had a smile, and I told Jeremy probably 3 weeks ago she had her best tournament, and I missed it. At the end of the deal, my wife's always on me that I talk too much, and I tell this kid right here played with 0 errors the whole tournament. In 8U, that's unheard of. Auburn Brown consists of more than 50% of our outs all year at second base. More than 50% is this kid right here. I don't know how much she weighs. I don't know how tall she is, but she is a giant slayer. Her and that little girl that looks identical to her account for just as many outs as Kendall and Emma do any day of the week. I mean, and you look at Kendall and Emma and you say, well, they're bigger, they're stronger. These two right here play with the heart at a higher level than any other 8-year-old that I've ever seen. I mean, coaches come up to me and say, what do y'all shoot in them kids that make them play like that? I said, they play for each other. I said, they don't play for me. They play for each other, and Auburn is a big example of playing for each other. Auburn had a bad weekend hitting one weekend, and I kind of talked to her about her hands and stuff, and the coachability from an 8-year-old standpoint is hands down some of the best that I've been around. You know, when I say things, this kid is a sponge. I might have to tell my hard-headed kid 4 or 5 times what I want her to do before she does it. Auburn soaks things in. And besides Auburn being great, her parents are some of the best people that I've ever been around. A mom that stepped up in a big way and helped out our team. And I can't thank her enough for the stuff she does. And it don't, you know, I might get a video of Auburn swinging and ask Justin, what do you see? I see her throw it. And Auburn has really been the start of something that I've encouraged a lot of our parents to do, and that's just show videos of your kid working. And there's hands down, I'll tell you, I got the best 2010 team in the state of Arkansas. It's because we outwork anybody else. And it's here, and I'm not going to take anything from Scott on what we do in the 3 hours we're here. Because you ask some of these kids how many hours they log working at home is why we're the best. And this one right here, I've seen more videos of her and Lisa. You know, Lisa's just as resilient on some of the work. And, you know, you say, well, don't you all want them to be 4.5 foot tall and run 3.0 to first? I want them all to work hard. I don't care how athletic you are. That dog that sits at home and fights and works hard is going to be the one that we're going to play with. And I don't know how many videos you have, Danielle, but there's a bunch of them. But I probably got a many of them on my phone of this kid working. And she's a great kid to be around. Makes our team better. And her light, the Toby Mac song says, let your light shine bright, and that's Auburn Brown.
I'll make mine. I'm not going to cry. I'll make mine a little bit shorter. Justin hinted on it a little bit in the beginning. The biggest thing that I see from this kid is yes sir, no sir, yes ma'am, no ma'am. No matter what you ask this kid, it's always yes sir, and I'm going to do it. The other thing is the whole deal with the trash, picking up at the ballparks. Not only did she start it, it rubbed off on these girls, but it's rubbed off on me too. We were at last weekend, late night, out late, past 10 o'clock, just one of the things. Everybody in the park's gone but us, and we're out there picking up trash. And that was Auburn Brown rubbing off on me. Almost 36-year-old man, and an 8-year-old showed me how it's done.
Girl here, she may be 40-something pounds, I guarantee you, it's all right here in that heart. She's contagious, like Jeremy said. She makes me a better person. I mean, there's times I get frustrated, my kid and her, and she just, her smile, no matter what it is, it's just, this kid's contagious. I know she makes every girl on our team a better person, and that starts with her parents. Hey, look here, kids this age, they don't become that way automatically. I gotta give a lot of it. She's got it right here, but thank you for raising a great kid. Thank you for being you. Don't ever stop.
Well, they say
I think that's three coaches that have stepped up and obviously gave the parents a lot of the credit. You know, we're really, you know, hoping to, you know, see more of this. But for right now, this is Auburn's moment. So I've got one last character card for this year anyway. And Auburn, the cool part about it is every box is checked. Okay? Because I can look down the list, y'all, and she's a definition of every word on that board. Okay? We've seen every single thing on that board through this child. And we're just blessed to be a part of it. So there's your completed checklist, Auburn. Okay, you put that there. Okay, do you mind sharing that chair with Auburn and letting Auburn sit there for a minute? Okay, I got a little something for Auburn.
Mitch has no idea this is going on.
All right, Auburn. So, you know, I wanted this to be special because you're special, and what I'm hoping is that, you know, kind of the ideal behind this is I want you to continue rubbing off. Okay, rubbing off on us as adults. You know, I told somebody the other day that a lot of times I think the kids are more mature than the parents in a lot of ways. I think that if a lot of times if we might be frustrated in the bleachers, we might be upset about what position our kids playing. We might be upset about where they're at in the batting order, or they're not getting to play a certain game. Well, these kids just seem to never ever be fazed by that. It's just all with the adults. So I think something we could all learn from this is next time you're in the stands and you're upset or you're disappointed, look to your left. Look into the dugout and watch what's going on in there. Okay? And I think we can learn a lot from these 8-year-olds. Okay? So, Auburn, I'm gonna hold your card for you. I'm gonna set your card right there. All right? And then if you can just start kind of digging in and kind of show everybody each little thing that I put in there for you, okay? Oh, whoa. Well, you was doing a no look on that one, so let's start there and let me fix this, okay? All right.
Ronnie Bo, come here, babe.
Next, we have this.
Ronnie Bo, come here.
Show everybody what you're getting. Okay, got her a pop socket. Can y'all help hold that stuff for her so she can just keep going through there? All right.
Oh my gosh.
All right, now let's just take this one. Okay. All right, what is that?
Seals and barrels.
Seals and barrels. What is that? Stay back, lady.
Ronnie Bo. Ronnie Bo.
Alright, that's just some
What?
of those, what do y'all call those, yoga pants? That's some Florida yoga pants there. Alright. Go ahead and take them out. Go ahead and take them out. Got her some Glory glasses.
I didn't know we all had so much.
Okay. Alright, now we go here. Alright. And you can just take the Kleenex out slowly. Just pull it out. Okay, keep pulling. Looky here. Keep pulling, girl. Keep pulling, girl. Yeah. Best box in the world, ain't it? There you go.
Wow.
Alright. Now, and now last, and I'll help you with this. The last thing we did, we gave her a blanket, and it's actually, I'll try not to get it dirty here.
You had it right.
Am I right here?
Ronnie Bo.
Alright. So it's just well, no, I am backwards on that. Here we go. Oh, you had it right. You had it right. Yeah, I was right. Alright. So we got her a blanket, and kind of the idea behind this blanket is I want Auburn to go to bed every night laying her head down, resting real good because of the person that she is. Okay, and what I mean by that, y'all, is, you know, through all my years of, you can stuff that stuff back in there. Through all my years of doing this, through all my years of doing this, I've developed a lot of people that may not think I'm the best person in the world, or that we're not the best program in the world, or we're not the best people in the world. And sometimes I'm guilty of not being, okay? I mean, especially you go back 10 years ago, you ought to seen a side of me that you hadn't seen in the last few years. Because like I said, it used to be all about win, win, win. And now I hope that I'm bringing more to the table for these kids than that. And my goal every day is to make sure that I lay my head down. You ladies, listen. I try to make sure that I lay my head down every single night, knowing that I do good things for good people. I do good things for bad people. I do good things as often as I possibly can. Okay? And if you can lay your head down at night and know you went that whole day doing nothing but good stuff, then you ought to sleep well at night. So I hope, Auburn, that every time you touch that blanket, it'll just remind you to keep being who you are. Okay? All right, so let's give it up for Auburn. Okay. Auburn, you got anything you want to say?
Thank you for letting me do all the things that you've let me do. And I know it's always a long time to get here. And I know how much you might not want to do that. And I appreciate you so much for that. And thank you for staying through about half of the stuff that I have. And for coming with the food and everything that you gave me. And thank you, Coach, that I cannot thank you enough. And thank you for being a good man. Thanks.
You know, to me, just those words, I think it helps everybody understand why this is our character of the year, right? Okay, let's give it up one more time. Okay. Anything you'd like to say to your teammates?
Thank you for being my teammates and loving me enough that y'all, whenever anybody's hurt, y'all try to pick us up and try to help us. And thank you so much for everything that y'all tried to help us with. And thank you for the craziest person you've been, Ronnie. I'm not the craziest person. Why are
Come here. Come here.
All right. All right, one more time. Auburn Bryant, 2018 Texas Glory Character of the Year. Love you, buddy.
Goodness.
Okay? All right. It's kind of cold. Your parents are probably cold, so we can wrap this deal up. Y'all are welcome to go. Or yeah, why don't y'all get with your coaches real quick? They might want to have
Balance hit the hill.
something to say.
Okay, I'll get it.
Oh,